going to shape. Oh, that's a lot of cars. Was it busy all the time?
It's just kind of been steady, really.
Like this all the time? Steady?
Yeah.
Huh.
We had kind of a slow spot the last hour or so, but then it's been...
Hey guys, there's someone with a handicap space coming in.
Copy that.
This is so cool.
Right?
I love this little gold cross. Oh, is that the shuttle?
One of them. Those are...
Yeah, why not? It's so busy.
I've got that handicap coming behind me.
Okay, I'm just dropping at the shuttle stop. All right, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Head on in. Bathrooms in the white trailer. Otherwise, just head up under the white tents. They'll load you there and grab a water.
Thank you. Hey guys, so I'm on my way to Shape, AT&T Shape Film Festival, which is like the very first time they had it. And I'm right now at the Australian Center lot for parking, and they were gonna shuttle us over. So, cool.
Hey, I'm parked.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
I love everything about everything. I'm happy.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. Wow. We'll sit right here. Warner Brothers? From all the other studios?
Yeah, for some reason they picked one.
Interesting. I thought all the studios are the same. They're all hard to get in.
Pretty neat.
I wanted to start that.
15, 20, 30 minutes long.
You're right.
Of course, maybe things are different.
So it also has my computer.
So,
I'll actually keep the tripod. I'll hold this. We have some things to talk about.
It's exciting.
So that everybody should yeah, there's a bunch of grip.
So you are late.
Yeah.
Some videos. I just
Are you coming tomorrow too?
yes.
Earlier,
Today?
yeah, you like meet a couple of friends. Yeah, that's what people say. Everyone's got a more traditional timeline.
Birthday tower. I hope they will just drive us in without.
No, I mean you have to check in. I'm sure Warner Brothers, like that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'd be pretty fast.
What's your name?
Is- Thank you. Thank you.
Hi. So I'm right now at Warner Brothers Studio, and there it is. Ta-da. Welcome to Shape. Check in. Check in? Yes. Check in. Thank you. Okay, so right now we are in the Shape event on the Warner Brothers Studio lot. Check this out. Studio lot, and right there is the tent where we're gonna go. And I have my wristband right here. Let's have some fun at Shape. 2, 3, 4. Busy. Wow, this thing is so busy. So here, drinks, rosé, speakers, exhibits. Over here, exhibits. Oh, here's the schedule.
Feeling good about it? Yeah. Just great.
Oh, this is a big event. Exhibits. I don't want to go into exhibits.
All across the board, like contracts, we have these really high-end
Exhibits.
So after World War II, they had all these aeronautics.
So I'm looking for Catherine Bigelow. I hope she's not yet done speaking. Catherine Bigelow. Where I think where the people are coming out, there's the speakers. The speakers lounge should be over there. Let's go over there. Oh, look at nice picture. Water tower back there.
but it's VR, yeah. Performing arts.
This is the New York street. Oh, wow.
Is there anything for me to eat at home?
I used less than right? Like I wasn't even.
Where's the Catherine Bigelow? So we are right now on the famous New Yorker street where they shot like a lot of movies like that Kane and Terry Hatcher, they're from Lewis and Clark, Gotham City from Batman Returns, and The Flash. It was all filmed right here. Superhero street. Let's walk it down. New York, New York. I feel like New York. New York Street. And here are some New Yorker pizza. Oh, look at this is a nice shot too.
That's a
Fraud. That Harry Potter, the Hogwarts castle was in the distance. That's in the university.
Ah, here we are. We found it. We found it. Right there, AT&T shape. Let's go. I hope Catherine Bigelow is still speaking. There's the tower. Look at that. There's the tower. There's the tower. Do you know where is Catherine Bigelow speaking?
It's already over. She already spoke.
Okay, what's the other?
It's Whitfield.
Where's that?
It's gonna be right here, and
Oh,
the line
perfect.
is back there.
Oh, there's a line for it. Okay.
Welcome back. Thanks for waiting. Last on the right. Thank you for calling.
all the way down. Please don't get to that door.
looks like DJI. Hate DJI. Seats down below.
They want to move down.
Yeah.
You want to hit that one?
Excuse me, is that one free?
Hi everyone. Can I just have you guys pick under your seats here to the platform?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for being here. You know, we're so excited to have everybody here. We hope you've enjoyed your first afternoon at Shape on the Warner Brothers Live. You know, we're here tonight to talk about the AT&T Entertainment Project, and it's a fitting way to wind down this first day at Shape. I'm especially thrilled to be joined by one of the hottest filmmakers on the planet, Patty Jenkins. So Patty, you really have no idea the cool points I'm getting with my 10-year-old and my 14-year-old, who Wonder Woman was a highlight of the summer. I did have to sit in a different row, but all good. So, listen, we want to get into something here, and it's going to be great. So, you know, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. You know, it's funny. I am super excited to be here. I started my career in such a similar way, so I'm so excited. And all of the people who entered this film competition and all the finalists in the AT&T Entertainment Project, such awe-inspiring, incredible films. I was so excited to watch them all and see such incredible voices, such pure voices. And I'm psyched to be a part of it.
You know, this event is all about helping people get discovered. And so, you know, you were once in these people's shoes.
Yes, I was. Oh yeah,
And
for a long time.
And so, I mean, what serendipity to be back on Warner Bros. Live.
Yeah, very much so. So I have a funny story, which is when I was at AFI, you know, for many years, I was a camera person for a long time. I made short films, I struggled, I wrote, all those things. And then when I was at AFI, I made, and a lot of people don't even know this, my last short film was a female superhero short film. And one person got the Warner Brothers production grant, so got to use all of the Warner Brothers stuff. And there was me, I got the Warner Brothers production grant, and then I had been a camera person for many, many years for Brett Ratner. And so he ended up executive producing my short film, and now he is here funding a lot of the films as well as being a director here at Warner Brothers. So for me, and that had nothing to do with why I ended up being the director of Wonder Woman. No one even knew it when they hired me. So this is so full circle. I walked around this lot as a struggling student, trying to make my film and trying to get my voice heard and find myself and find my career. And so it's incredibly poignant to be back here with you guys, you know, on the heels of having you know, stepped into a live stream of making a film like this.
That's awesome. Well, listen, we have the best roles in the weekend. We're going to showcase the finalists of the AT&T Entertainment Project. So, you know, this competition is all about finding original short films from both professional and student filmmakers. The common thread is they're all aspiring. So during the first phase, we had over 1,000 submissions, and they were all reviewed by multiple judges to determine the top 25 professional and the top 25 student films. All these films are short, 10 minutes or less, and they come from all genres. Comedy and drama, as you would expect, led the pack. And they came from all over the country. So these films were evaluated on 4 criteria: creativity, originality, entertainment value, characterization, and production value. So for today's finals, half of the final scores are going to be from the semi-final results from the judges, and half are going to come from you guys in the audience today via text voting. So we have almost $50,000 in prizes, $48,000 in prize money today. 20,000 of it will go to the best emerging filmmaker. And the best emerging filmmaker will also have a chance. They're going to meet with our team on the Audience Network on DirecTV, and all these films have a chance to air on the Audience Network. So really, really cool stuff. So let's get right to it. So first of all, we're going to announce our Underrepresented Award. During the semifinal round, AT&T judges picked the best film from an underrepresented creator. Eligible filmmakers were people with disabilities, LGBTQ, women, and people of color. This is an award that I feel really passionate about. Diversity and variety in film starts with diversity and variety in filmmaking.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that even though there have been great filmmakers fitting every description there for a long time, I think the hardest thing in any industry is like when there's an avenue that has been that has been paved, and everyone's always looking for something that makes obvious sense to something that's happened before. It's kept a lot of doors shut to a lot of different kinds of various voices and a lot of diversity. So I love what you're doing in the fact that you're not only inviting people to share their films, but also the opportunity to give them exposure on your channel and all over the world. And so I think that's such a special thing to do and something I was proud to be a part of.
Yeah, and what's cool is we had over 600 submissions in this category alone. So without further ado, you want to do the honors?
Yeah. So I'd like to say congratulations to Sarah Smith for her film De-Asian.
Sarah, come on.
Awesome.
Why don't we get up here and have a little photo op?
That'd be great. Congratulations. That's really great.
Roll the trailer.
Yeah, let's see it.
Alrighty. Now. Daniel, can you come up here for a moment?
What a cool, slick, but also well-balanced film where you could be about something and also be funny and have great characters. You have a really good grasp of visual language, and so just really well done. What inspired you?
Well, the film is actually my writing and producing partner. It's inspired by some of his events in his young life. And he wrote a short story, so I took the short story and then adapted it into a short film.
Awesome. And
No, please.
No, I just think it's really awesome, and you have a really strong voice, and I'm excited. I think it's really cool. What do you plan on doing next? Do you have any hopes?
Yes, I have lots of hopes. Right now, we're working on a short form comedy series, and also writing another short film.
Awesome. I feel good about that short form comedy series.
Thank
and
you.
long form comedy series.
Thank
I
you.
think you should do that.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Cool. I really am impressed and happy for you. And I don't even, that's just good filmmaking. That's not, any special diversity good filmmaking. And that's what is exciting about having these kinds of doors. So
Thank you. I mean, this is just such a great opportunity, so I can't thank you guys enough.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Really appreciate it. Okay, so great. Good job, Sarah. Awesome. So now let's go to our student award. So to be eligible for this award, filmmakers have to be enrolled in film school or recent grad. So we have the three finalists are Ben Kaloum for his film Red Folder, in which a high school student, Joseph, sets out to find his teacher's red folder. Liam Hall for his film Stay and Run, in which a bickering couple finally finds his way out of an argument. And then Michelle Nabed for her film The Showhead. And this is a coming-of-age story with blood and chickens. So let's have our three finalists please stand.
congratulations, you guys.
Really, really great. So the winner, Michelle. So for your film, The Showhead. So please, congrats.
Those are great.
Okay, so let's run Michelle's film, please.
Shochet is a word in Hebrew that refers to the person that kills animals in order to be kosher or in order for Jews to eat the meat in a way that is prescribed by the Bible. There is two very important things when the shochet does his work. One has to use a very, very sharp knife, so when he cuts, the animal will suffer the least. And the other one is after the animal skin is cut, the blood has to run out as much as it can, because in the Jewish religion it says that the blood is the essence of the soul. When I was 10 years old, something used to happen every week in my house that made me extremely sad and very frightened. At 6 o'clock in the morning, this old man came to my house. Since that time in Costa Rica, the community was very small. The chickens were slaughtered at home. So as soon as I heard the doorbell ring, I got out of bed. In a way, I was surprised and angry, and in the other way, I was very curious. So by the time he came to the back of the house, the girl that worked for my parents, the maid, was running in the garden after the two chickens. Finally, the girl took one and gave it to the old guy, to Mr. Simana. And in the meantime, I was shivering and thinking that if I had to do this all my life, I would never get married, because it was too much suffering and too much for the maid and my mother to do what they did after the chickens were killed. So the first thing Mr. Simana did, he took the chickens, hold the animals so they wouldn't move, and in one big jump of the knife, the head of the chicken went running, and then he put the chicken on the floor, and with my surprise, the body of the chicken kept jumping without the head. So when he finished, all the grass was full of blood. So every time I went to bed, I started praying to God that my parents would stop eating chicken, and somehow God listened to my prayers. After a while, the Jewish community became larger, and instead of selling only cow meat in the butchery, they started selling also chickens. And the shochet didn't come back to my house anymore. So as time passed, I forgot a little bit about the chickens, and I decided that maybe I could marry one day.
Because you picked like a really great story for a short film. Like pick a story that's clear and easy to understand, but also that mixed medium thing is no joke. You know, like that's intimidating. Like as I was watching it, I went to painting school, and that's so beautifully done that is bold to go into doing something like that where you're executing multiple mediums so well and then mixing them together. How did that happen?
Yeah, well actually, weirdly enough, that's the only way I know how to do things. My background's not in filmmaking, it's in graphic design and illustration and building things, so I understand materials and story, and so I just, I really wanted to run with that story and just building these sets and working with paper and working with materials that I knew was the way I could visualize doing it.
So cool. I can't wait to see what else you do with it. And I went to painting school, and got into filmmaking as the art form. I was like, oh, that's my art form. And it is a very specific way in, and like that was why I became a camera person for 10 years, just because I was like, I must learn my craft, you know? Like that didn't occur to me to try to be a director. I was like, I need to hand me the tools, you know? So it is fascinating, like every filmmaker coming from these different places and why that is what it is, but I can't wait to see what you do with that. Those are mad skills, really cool looking. Really, like, beautifully done and told.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done.
Well done. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Well done. Okay, so now let's turn our spotlight to the professional category finalists and feature their hard work and their creativity. I'll introduce each filmmaker, each film and filmmaker, and together we'll watch their short films. Patty's going to offer some commentary and ask each filmmaker some questions, and then you guys, the audience, are going to vote on your favorite. So remember, half the final scores will be from the semifinal round, and the other half will come from you guys today. So first up is Coin Operated from Nicholas Aureli. And so of San Francisco, 70 years past in the life of one naive explorer. Nick, please join us on stage.
that's your first short film, because what a complicated thing to take on. But my favorite thing about it is that, you know, you told me that it's your first short film that you've done, but you obviously have probably watched a lot of film, and you have a very good understanding of storytelling and shots, and that's a wonderful thing. Like, that's a great thing, and like, really well applied. You're so nicely done. What was the process like? Like, how do you go into something like this? Or you spend a long time storyboarding it and then finding the right animators?
Yeah, a long time. So this was my first movie. It's 5 minutes, and it took me 2 years to make. To your point about it, sort of how animation affects that, animation is very sort of slow and deliberate. And for me, my first time, that was helpful because you do have to storyboard everything. You do have to understand every beat. And I love movies, and I watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And I love your movies.
Yeah.
And I was always sort of in awe about how tight things would be. I would see a movie that just, I'm like, oh, everything is doing 10 things at once. It's advancing the plot, it's advancing the character arc, it's doing everything. How do they do that? And then when I made a movie, I realized, oh, you just work really hard and know every shot. The back of your
Little
hand.
known secret. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, very true. What a cool thing, actually. That would be a cool thing about starting out in animation, is to have to be that rigorous about why you're doing every shot. But you did it super well. So what was it about this story? Like, what inspired you to do it?
So I was struck one day by the phrase life savings. And that idea kind of struck me as both a really happy, hopeful idea, but also a doomed kind of concept. You know, our mortality and our hopes collide in that. And I liked that weird mishmash of feelings I felt thinking about that. And while I was thinking about that, some of my friends started having kids, and I was watching them, and I was jealous of how much kids know what they want, know what makes them happy. And I wondered, would I be happier if I just did what made me happy as a kid? And I sort of mashed those two ideas together along with my old personal long-held desire to go into outer space, and I was going to operate it.
That's awesome. I totally didn't see it coming. Like, when the kid is like, I'm like, oh, he's going to want to be an astronaut or whatever, and then when he starts getting older, and then when he goes back to the ride, it's like, it's great. It's great. It's a good surprise both times, where you're like, oh, I didn't expect that, and then I didn't expect that. But yeah, so are you going to continue in animation?
No, I just am writing. I sort of see it as a tool. You know, movies are just an incredible way to communicate ideas or tell a story or make people feel an emotion, and animation is, I think, one of the most powerful and least constrained ways of doing that. But it's sort of, if it's right for the story, I would happily do it again, and if I write something different, I'll do something different.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited for what you do. Yeah.
That's great. Thank
Congratulations.
you. Well done. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay. Next, in Lucia, by Emile Carr of New York City, a young, courageous girl named Lucia decides a centuries-old tradition is no longer just for men. So, Emile, please join us on stage.
Celebramos nuestros queridos. Tengo un gran respeto por ellos. Sordo familiar. Enfréntalos con valor, me dijo. Ellos huelen nuestro miedo. Los observamos. Nos Nos observan. Esperamos. Calculo mis movimientos. Observo su técnica. En la tradición. El acto final de esquileo tiene lugar. Los dejamos libres. De vuelta a donde pertenecen. Donde nací. Galicia es mi principio. Mi nombre es Lucía. Soy una aloitadora.
The three films that we have tonight that we're looking at, and I was really surprised by this myself, was that they're all three excellent for three totally different reasons and in three totally different ways, which is amazing. When you're not like, oh, one's bad, one's great, and then you're, you know, struggling. The thing that I was so stunned by this film and thought was so beautiful is you have such a beautiful visual style, and you obviously delight in it and have a great eye, and that is a special gift that it takes a lot of people a long time to learn. What a cool thing to apply it to this. What was it about this story that drew you in?
About a year ago I saw some pictures of this amazing event in Spain with these people wrestling these horses. And then I saw, in between these pictures, I saw suddenly a picture with this young girl, this young, brave girl, doing this amazing old tradition. And we always see these men doing these traditions, like man versus beast phenomena. And then I thought that this girl really just like intrigued me to go follow her story, because she was really taking on a man's, tradition.
Yeah.
And then I packed up some stuff, my equipment, and I went to Spain, and I stayed there for like 10 days, and I tracked down this young girl, and to follow her, in this tradition,
Yeah. So that's so interesting. Like, what did you find about her story? What was it that inspired her to do it?
I think she grew up in this village in the mountains of Galicia in Spain, and so she comes from a family where the men has been doing this for many generations.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just decided that I can do what the men can do too.
Right, she wanted to be a part of it.
Exactly, yeah.
How did you pick this? So you've worked in commercials,
Yeah.
and you've probably done lots of different styles. How did you pick the style for this, or is this your style, or was it?
Yeah, I mean, this is my style. I like to do something, go to a place that is like dangerous and gritty, and you know, and so this is very much my style, yeah. And I like to make it also poetic. You know, there's a lot of slow motion shots, and you have these shots of her hair going in slow motion, together, kind of reflecting the horse's hair also. You know, so that's very much my style, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so is like this wheelhouse something you want to expand into something longer, or what is it that you're like? What does this film leave you wanting to do?
Definitely to do more short films.
Yeah.
But longer than 4 minutes.
Yeah. It's a weird pocket because people always want them to be short for things, but also you learn, like one of my, you know, the short film that I learned the most in was 16 minutes long, and I was like, hey, I'm not going to win any festivals, but I sure learned a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
so I mean, definitely, I would love to go much deeper into the person's story. I mean, I mean, really just like make it a lot more emotional and really dare to go follow a person much more closer.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited for you,
Yeah,
and I'm excited to see what you do. Really beautiful and great subject matter you picked too.
Cool, thank you.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Emil. So, and finally, In Tween by Raven Johnson of Brooklyn. A preteen is lured into a race baiting game at a slumber party. So, Raven, please come up and join us.
Since you were born, how many times have you witnessed me fight with your father? So tell me where you got that from. I was taken aback by your astonishing beauty. You're so beautiful. You're so lovely.
I'm confused. I don't really know what is happening in this hospital anymore. How do you mean? You are asking me how to... Don't you have eyes? Can't you see? Can't you see? Yesterday, the pregnant woman died with her baby.
Wow.
Red.
Now another one.
Orange.
Purple.
Your crush will ask you out.
Oh, again. Big Mac, filet of fish, quarter pounder French fries, cup thick shake sundaes and apple pie, and the cup ran away with the spoon. Protein bar. You underline the pro in the teen bar. Oh my God, protein bars are for teens. Feeling in my bones. Hey. Hey, what's up?
So I saw Sam and Lily at the park, and I'm pretty sure they're still there, so we should totally get out of the park.
But I want to stay here.
But they're 8th graders, and they're cool. I like this. We're going to the park.
Come on.
Guys! Guys! We're this way.
Calm down.
Hey! Do you need something? Guys, let's go.
That was stupid.
Come on, let's go.
Ready?
When's the last time that you got one? Wearing it. I like
Wearing
the tie.
it. Yeah.
But is it a tie or a... It's
A bow tie?
Which I'm like throwing it horrible now.
I got a corner of the check.
I got it. Okay. But that was by your...
That's a bag. Well, the purple one isn't.
I don't like the other one. This isn't working.
Can I curl your hair? Yeah, sure. Here.
I wouldn't. Because wouldn't it melt since it's fake?
No. Yeah. Here you go. Why don't we play a game?
Yeah.
Try and catch this.
Okay. What does your real hair look like?
Open wide.
That was horrible.
Okay, ready?
Can't we see?
Open.
That was close. What is your problem?
She's really sorry, like really sorry. It was just a joke. She's so...
It was just a joke.
About this one is that you're boldly doing something incredibly specific that speaks about so many different things. There's no struggle to say what does this filmmaker want to talk about. You're talking about so many things, but you're also making them universal. So that is a wonderful gift. And I can't wait to see you work on, see what you do with that as time goes by. But it's I like that I both am in her shoes completely, as I remember what it was like to be that tween who's not quite, you're talking about so many different things. And so what was it about this story?
Oh, for sure. So I grew up in Minnesota, and I don't know if you know this, but it's not very diverse. For me, growing up was a lot about being a black face in a white space, and my family's Liberian, so I'm also an African immigrant. So going and living in Minnesota, where I walk outside of my house, where my parents talk to me, it's you're Liberian, stop trying to act like you're American. We're not buying you McDonald's, eat rice, So and then I walk out, and then white kids are saying you just see us black, versus the black kids, they're you're African, and I'm not that. So it's a lot of code switching. And for me, that's always what I want to talk about. And when I started thinking about how I grew up and just realizing how, at this particular age where you just want to fit in, you just want a group of friends, and you're really trying to figure out who you are, and so much about that is who's around you, telling you who you are, so that's where I started.
Yeah, and that's all I got. That was what was great, and many layers of it, which is so cool.
Thank you.
Do you feel this is the direction of stuff, or what do you want to do next? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, so right now I'm actually turning this short into a feature film. Yeah. broadening out the world and putting more of my family into it. So getting to experience, you know, what it's like being an African immigrant in the suburbs of Minnesota, where it's cold. You know what? I don't understand. How do you move here? Yeah. So that's the world that I'm interested in.
I'm excited to see it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really great.
That's amazing. Fantastic. Okay. So now we're going to turn it over to you guys so we can select the winners. So
I want them all to win.
I agree. Group here. So please text the code for your favorite film to 55000. You're going to have 60 seconds to vote starting now.
Great job. Well deserved, but that's the great part. Is like it's exciting. You did it.
Let's get a picture here. How about that?
Yeah.
Photo op.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Patty, thank you so much. It was fantastic. Enjoy the rest of the week in the shape.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rate this session using the Shape logo.